Hi guys, in the previous video of our project playlist in which we are building the Vercel clone similar to the Vercel. In the last video we have completed our front end and we have completed this checklist. So in today's video we are going to create a worker, a cloud worker that will poll message and do something with them. So let's see how this video will go. Let's make a checklist, sorry. Let's create a checklist for today's video worker. So what we are going to do first, we will create a EC2 instance as our worker. We will create a IAM role and attach it to the worker with some specific permissions, custom policies. Then we receive यही होता है क्या receive messages from SQS. Before receiving messages, this is going to fourth step. Create a TypeScript project inside worker, and the fifth step will be we will see how can we run scripts in Node.js. Sixth, we will write script. In this script we will clone the repo, build the repo and add a Docker file. Seventh, we will install Docker on worker. Eighth, build the project image. Ninth, set up ECR. You will see the steps how can we push the image to ECR, and the last, push the image to ECR. So that's the 10th step we are going to do today in this video. So let's start with the first step. Create an EC2 instance. So let's go to your AWS console. In search box write EC2 and launch an instance. And give it a name, Vercel clone worker. Select a machine, we will work with Ubuntu, and it's a free account, same as yours. Now select an instance type. For free, choose a large, means this flex large a 2 CPU 8 GB memory, let's say flexi large C7i, you will see the same dashboard as me because it's also a free account. You can create a free account by simply adding a credit card or debit card. Let's choose a key name. We have already create a key pair in the playlist of Kubernetes. It's correct, and give it a थोड़ी ज़्यादा space memory. Let's give it 30 GB. That's it. Launch instance. Go to your instance. That's our instance running. And so copy the IP and add a step also. Extra step. Open this instance in VS Code. So copy the IP, go to your VS Code, and you will have to install a extension, this remote explorer, this remote SSH. You will have to install this. Then you will see this icon. Click on this icon, and here you will see SSH. Click on new remote and write SSH Ubuntu @ your IP -A. You will select your config file and open config and add a identity file where your key is present, your key as class.pem, the key pair that you have created. My key pair is in the downloads folder. So add the path of your key pair, save the config file, close this, and click on this connect in current window. It will ask what's the platform. It's the Linux. Could not. Here you have to. The error is because I have added this colon, the identity file, and the colon. I don't have to add this. So delete this. This one is correct. Copy and delete this also. Previous host. So you don't have to add a colon. This is not a object, not a key pair. Now if you try to connect, you will see it's downloading the VS Code server, and in a minute or so it will be connected. Let's wait. The instance is connected. Remote. So open folder and you will see. Okay. You can see has connected successfully. If you see any permission required, permission errors, permission denied, so simply go to your key pair and go to the properties, go to the security. You will see some users advanced. You just have to keep your username, the current user, and the baki. There will be some other users also. Just delete the disable the inheritance and remove them and apply the changes. You don't have to remove the current user, just remove the administrator and the system user and you will good to go. So our first step is done, created. This step be done. So let's create a IAM role. We will not create a user and get the access key ID. If you are using some AWS service and you want to use some permissions, want to give some permission of different AWS service, then you use roles, not users. So go to the search IAM, open IAM in different tab, go to the roles and create role. You will see something like that, and here we have to select EC2 because we are going to attach this role inside our instance. Click on EC2, next. It will ask a policy. Let's create a policy. Policies, create policy. What are we doing? We are receiving message and delete message in this video. So select in policy, select SQS and we have to receive message. Select this, get message attributes, get queue attributes, sorry, and delete message. That's it. These three are, and add a ARN of your queue, SQS, open it in new tab, copy your queue ARN and just paste it right there. That's the ARN. That's our policy. We will attach some more policies of ECR and EKS. Currently, for now, SQS is good to go. Vercel clone worker policy. That's it. Create policy. Go to your role. Vercel clone. Refresh. There it is, Vercel clone worker policy. Select this, next. A role name, Vercel clone worker. Create role. Our role has been created, so go to your EC2, and in the actions, this is your EC2 instance dashboard. Go to the actions and security, modify IAM role, select your Vercel clone worker, update. Now you can see a IAM role as added in this instance. Now you can use the SDK like this, like the new SQS client. That's it. We don't have to give any credentials right there. No access key, no secret access key required. So that's the use of the role. So we have created an IR role. Next thing is create a TypeScript app. Go to your VS Code, create a folder, Vercel clone worker, and open your terminal. Cd now there are some extra steps I forgot to add. Install Node.js and install bun, because we are going to use the bun for the TypeScript project. So let's install Node.js for the Linux. How can we install the Node.js? Sudo apt upgrade. That's the page I was searching for. Is the DigitalOcean community page in how to install Node.js. So we are using the option 3, installing Node using the NVM Node version manager. You can install any Node version by this. So let's copy the command and paste it right there. It will install. Add a source. In VS Code it checks sometime. It lags. Go to your instance, connect, copy. Let me open it my terminal. This is it. NVM. Now NVM is working. NVM install latest. That's the command. LTS. Now if I write node version, it's the latest 24. Now we have to install bun install npm install. We have already installed the node. Bun is installed. Let's update the npm also. If I write bun is installed. इसमें चलेगा. I have to refresh it. Region we also don't need because we have already provided the ARN inside our policy. So this much is enough. So this will automatically picks up the get access of the SQS. So let's write the queue URL. Go to your queue and copy the URL and paste it right there. And now we have to get the messages from the queue. So let me start my front end also. As the front end. So new window, open folder, go to the desktop, YT, Vercel clone, npm run dev. My backend starting. Let's create a function. Export function get messages async function get messages and console.log polling started. Now we have to run this function continuously, so let's write a condition while true, so it will poll the messages. It will, so this function will never stop running. Now let's create a try and catch. Console.log if there is any error while receiving messages, and in try let's get the data. So const data equal to await SQS client dot send new receive message command. Inside this give a queue URL, max number of messages currently 1, and the wait time second is 20 second, means it will poll in the 20 seconds interval. So that's our data. So console let if there is no data dot messages, console dot log no messages in queue, else let's get the message data dot messages, the first message, and let's get the body of our message, the repo URL and environment variables. So if you remember, if we go to our front end and go back to your routers, we have stringified it. So now we have to parse it again into the JSON dot parse message dot body, and let's console dot log body. So let's run this function, get messages, run index.ts, error while receiving messages. Let me see. What went wrong? I think we have to give the region. Now if I write, yeah, we have to give the region. So let's start the front end, copy the URL, let's give a demo, Postgres ABC 1 2 3 4 deploy. Your project is lined up, and you will see that's our body, the job ID, the repo URL, the environment variable. Why we are sending job ID? Because we will update the database, like the job status building. Now it is again polling the messages in 20 seconds interval. It will poll it again the same message. So we have to delete the message also. Let's delete it. console.log. Okay, here we will write our main logic, script logic. After the script logic, we will delete await SQS client dot send new delete message command QURL and a receipt handle message dot receipt handle. Console.log message deleted. Now let's rerun the server, the function. You will see in 20 seconds the message is deleted. If you go to your queue, that's the UI process. We are doing it in the function, this same process. So we have received the message and complete deleted it. So this step is completed. Now next step, how can we run scripts? To run the scripts we will use something called the child process. It will instantiate a new process. मतलब वो इस नोड प्रोजेक्ट के साथ वो एक नई प्रोसेस चालू कर देता है, द चाइल्ड प्रोसेस. Import, it's a default installed library, child process. You can run multiple processes by using this library. So we will use the spawn library. So that's how we are going to use. Now we will create a new function, async function, and we will use right there. So what it will do, spawn, this will run our script. So that's why we are using it. So let's give it a name, run command. We will send some inputs. Job ID is also string. This much is enough. You can send the environment variable also. It is of type a key value pair, type environment variable type key string, and value is string. and it's an array. Now we will run a promise. Why promise? Because we have to await this condition. Otherwise, if you are if you will not await this condition, then sometimes the message will get deleted instead of handling the message. Before handling the message will get deleted. So before deleting the message, we have to handle the message and run our script. Then we have to delete the message. So let's return a new promise. There will be a resolve. Let's await. Let's use the spawn dot command dot sh. This file we are going to create, and we will send some arguments. The first one is repo URL. It is reconnecting. Why is not the types are working? It says loading. Yeah, now it is working. What is saying? The last overload gave the following error: is not assignable to a type string. JSON dot stringify. Now it is correct because the environment variable is of type object. We are stringifying it. So let's log it also. Const child child dot std out dot on data and console.log this data. And run this run command function. Body dot repo URL. What's the type? Is this second is body dot job id ny body dot yeah, it's good. We have write this command. Now create a file called command.sh and create a give a header, so it will use the bash echo command is working. I hope you know the how this shell scripting work. I'm not going to teach you in this playlist. First we have to give the execution command. If you write lsa how can you clear it lsl, you can see these are the permissions. The command dot sh don't have an executable permission, so we have to give chmod plus x the command dot sh. Now you will see it has the permission of read write execution. Now run our function. Go to your front end and send. It is taking time. It's taking too much time. Let's test it again. Let's rerun the function. Hit deploy button. Project is lined up, if you can see. No messages in queue. Yeah, we see something. Spawn, no such file directory. What's the name of the file? Oh shit. We have to write like this. Save and rerun. Why it is saying this buffer? let's data dot toString. Command is working, and why it is breaking, let me see. So the command is working correctly, and if I see, you will see a message. It also gets deleted. No, there's our message, why it's not deleting. So we have to figure it out first, this part. So let's fix the error. Come to your run command, and here permits first is resolve and reject. Now our test is completed, so let's finish this. And here add child dot stdr on. So this child, this spawn gives us many outputs, many stages. Child dot on error. So reject the error, and child dot on when it closes. Else reject it. New error. Command exited with code. Now let's see if there's a message. Clear the screen. Let's rerun our. Yeah, now it's completed. Our message came, our command runs, and our message got deleted. We are not implementing the retry method, because if we implement, so the one user, so let's say if there's a build error, the user project is faulty faulty project, and it's give us something docker image build error. So why we retry this? We will simply give the error to user and tell user to fix your error, and in that time we will get the another user project and deploy it. So we are not implementing the retry on error, so it's a good thing. We'll just currently now we are console logging. We will store this error inside the database. You can also implement something like Redis, so continuous logs. We will use the normal database and show the errors and build logs to the user. So that's it. Where we have done this part. So next part is we will write script. So let's write the script. Go to your script and first of all add a set. It means if there is any error with the script, it will get cancelled, means it will get closed, so it will not retry again and again. Next thing, let's get our argument from the run command that we are sending these three. Repo URL. You can get these arguments by like this: $1, $2, $3, job ID, and the third argument is environment variables. Now if you see, let's say next MOIT, that's the project we have created inside the Kubernetes playlist. So if we go to my backend, now when we clone this repository, so this gets generated, this folder. So how can we access this folder? So let's see. From this URL, how can we get this folder name and give it a unique name, because many users can have same project name, so give it a unique name. So let's repo name and write like this: base name repo URL. So this will give the repo name, and if the repo name consists the .git, so let's solve this one also. Update the repo name and just simply gives repo name %.git. So this will give the simple name. Next demo YT, that's just this much. So let's echo job ID, what's the repo we are building, let's test it. Polling started. Remove the environment variable for now. Deploy. You will see job ID is this and the repo name is this. Yeah, that's correct. We are on a good path. So after this, let's clone the repo first. Before cloning, let's create a folder mkdir let's say projects folder. What this p flag will do, If the projects folder not exists, it will create a one. So cd projects or exit if it does not exist. And now inside this, clone the repo. First of all, let's create a unique name, working directory. Job ID and the repo name. Now this is the unique name per user, so no need to worry about the conflict of the in the project name. So now you can cd into it. So let's create a if else. If this directory does exist, working directory, if it is exist, then echo repo already exist, cd into the working directory. Let's copy it. If it does not exist, exit the process and git pull. So if it exists, pull the latest one. If the user tries to fix the error, then we see if this exists or not. It will not exist, I think. Let's see, we will delete it after. Else clone the repo, cloning repo, git clone repo URL, in this working directory. Cd into this working directory or exit. So fi to finish the if else. That's how you write the if else case in. You can remove this part also. Let's remove it because we are not implementing the retry case, and every time the job ID will be the different when the user hit the deploy button. So let's remove the part. And you have also seen how can we write the if else cases. If you try to build a retry case also, you can use that format also, pulling latest if it exists. I think this is good because if let's say if the user deployed and if he goes to the same deployment and it tries to deploy the same project again with the same job ID, then this case is much reusable and it is good. So let's keep it. I'm thinking of long, but I will not build this project that long. So that's on you. So that's it. We are cloning the repo and we are cd into the working directory. Now the next command will be inside the working directories. So let's see if it clones our repo or not. Polling started. Let's give a real URL. That's our next demo IT. If you see, job failed, expecting then. Oh, we have given the colon, but it expects a semicolon. Save it and retry and deploy it again. Now it will work. You can see cloning repo, cloning into repo. Our project is cloned. If you can see, that's the working directory. That's the job ID minus our repo name. That's our project. Yeah, that's good. Looks good. Now what we have to do? We have to add a Docker file here and move the Docker file. Currently it is exist. So if the folder does not exist, the Docker file, let's copy the Docker file to the projects folder, this working directory. It is deleting. Let's wait. So we write the script already and clone the repo. Now we have to add a Docker file. We will use this same Docker file. Copy this Docker file and create a folder, Docker, and inside create a Docker file. Paste it right there. So that's the Docker file for the Next.js. You can create multiple Docker files like for the Node.js, Express, Python, C++, Rust. We are deploying only the Next.js projects, but it's fairly simple. Just add a type in the front end and you will get the message, the type in the message like this. If else case, copy the specific Docker file. So now we are inside the working directory. Let's copy the Docker file. Echo copying Docker file. cp working directory, then this project, and go to the Docker folder, then Docker file, and move it inside this Docker file. So that's the Docker file copying. Let's test it. Let me get the without the Docker file project GitHub URL. Go to your browsers, find a demo, any project. Let's say go-kart. Copy the link and paste it on your URL. Run your. As you can see, there's no Docker file currently here, and you can also create a docker.ignore .docker ignore. You can create a multiple folders for the Next.js, for Python, for Node.js, Express, and you can copy the specific files like .docker ignore and Docker file. That's your part. Refine this project on yourself. That's the basic things. So let's deploy. As you can see, cloning repo, cloning into repo. If I go, there's the Docker file inside the working directory. Yeah, it's good. Let's delete. This Docker file is currently for the standalone output. If you see next.config.ts, it's the standalone output. So you can show a banner to your user that please make sure you write the output as a standalone in net.config.ts. So you can show, otherwise this Docker file will fail. Or if you want, you can create multiple Docker files. I don't want to extend this project in the deep, so clone the repo and add a Docker file. This step is completed. Now next thing is install Docker on worker machine. So let's install Docker Ubuntu install. That's it. This is the DigitalOcean community post. So let's copy paste fatafat. Copy. Is it working? Copy the next step. And third step. Fourth step. Fifth step. Copy and paste. active running. It's currently fine. Our Docker engine is running. Now if we write docker images, permission denied. If you write sudo docker images, it is giving. Let's copy this, paste, copy and paste. So what's the password? Ubuntu. Sudo create a new group docker. If I write docker images, now it is working. Exit. So now let me reinitiate my instance. Now it is running fine. Docker images. Yeah, this step is also completed. So install docker on worker. Now we have to build the docker image. Now let's build it. Go to your worker, command.sh. Here we will do docker login. This step we will do after building the ECR docker login. Now building docker image. Let's build it now. First let's create a ECR repository. ECR create a repository and give it a name Vercel clone repository. Let me check my mic working. All of these settings are same. Create, go to your repository, see the commands. These are the confidential details, so don't make it public on GitHub. And paste this command on this login step. And make sure that you have also AWS CLI installed. AWS CLI Linux. Let's install the AWS CLI also. Copy the command. Third step, unzip. So we have to install unzip. Confirm the installation. Yeah, the AWS CLI has been installed. So go to your ECR. Now you can build the image and tag it. So let's see how you can build. Let's create a variable image local repo name ECR repository name and the image ECR, the image that we push to ECR. It's this one. It's the ECR repository and the tag will be the job ID. So now let's build image local. Give it a tag image image ECR. That's the tag and there's a gap. Now docker push. That's it. Now run your cd, run your index.ts. copy the code, deploy, and you will see an error occurred when calling the because we have not given the permissions of the ECR. So go to the IAM policies, customer managed policies, the worker clone, edit, ECR, elastic container repository. It is working slow, I don't know why. Let's wait. Find the ECR elastic container registry, and search actions. Oh my god, उसमें आ गया था लगता है. Yeah, ECR. Let's all actions. Resource, all resources. Yeah, this much is enough. You can limit down your permissions. Mine is working slow, so save changes. Let's delete the project. Let's restart the function. Now you can see login succeeded, building the Docker image. It will take some time. Creating an optimized build. First time it will take some time. After that it will be cached. if the user try to retry the same. If you make the retry process like this one, so the user image steps will be cached. As you can see, our image is pushed. That's our tag. The size is 856 MB and the message has been deleted. Let's go. If you refresh, you can see this is our image. Now what we have done, build the project image, set up an ECR, push the image to ECR. All the steps, today's steps completed. So in the next video we will see how can we use this image into an Kubernetes cluster, and we will use Helm charts so we don't have to write the deployment for all of the projects. So we will simply change the values.yaml. We have already seen how can we deploy Kubernetes resources using Helm charts. So tomorrow class will be fairly simple, nothing hard. So make sure you have an EKS cluster. So that's it for the today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you watch the other playlist also, and make sure you like the video. Thank you.